This is a two-man job unless you have a larger than 2-inch socket. So one person's going to hold it. There we go. Let me get a turn or two. Okay. Thank you, sir. So what we've done here, this is the Filipino redneck way of removing your secondary nut. I've got a mouse pad here. I got my spring holding tool. I do mine in 2 steps. I hold it in the fixture and I loosen the nut. I'm going to go back and use this tool properly. This thing was on here pretty good, so it took one person to hold it and another person to break the nut loose. If you have appropriate size socket, you can impact the nut off initially, but you want to make sure you don't do too many threads or it's going to come flying off. So now that the nut's broken loose, I can turn this over. And this is real important, guys. When you're clamping this down, you're not trying to compress the spring. This spring cup can't move anymore. It'll stop there. So when I get this off, I'm going to put this back together without the spring so you can see. I mean, people have watched the video of this being done and they still try and compress the spring. You want this just tight enough, and there's the nut. So now I can once again, I want to thank Black Hills Power Sports for giving me this opportunity. You guys have seen my garage. It's it's like an episode of Hoarders. It's that messy. So having a nice clean facility to do this is really nice. And if you guys don't want to tackle this yourselves, take it down to your local dealer and have them do it. Okay, so I'm going to remove the secondary spring. I'm going to put this spring cup back on. This does not go down any further. So if you're trying to compress this, you're not doing any good. You're just fighting metal. So when you have this spring compression tool on, it's not really a compression tool, it's a holding tool. So it's better visualized without the spring there. See how this is staying here? It's not going anywhere. When you're tightening this down, a lot of guys are ruining their spring holding tool because they think they're trying to compress the spring. You just want it hand tight to hold this in place so you can get that nut off. Okay? So hopefully this point gets across. You won't ruin your spring compressor, and you have less frustration.